Hey everyone, Dan at fitDEGREE here, and if you're watching this, it's probably because you're part of the fitDEGREE Street team. Now, I'm going to run you through a fitDEGREE product demo real quick so you have an idea of what's going on next time you walk in and speak with a potential client. So here we go. What we can see here is the fitDEGREE admin system, the back end that the studio owner and their employees are going to use to operate their studio on a day-to-day basis. This right here is the dashboard, and what we see are the 6 widgets that they'll be using most frequently on a daily basis. Now, everything in the studio can be reached from this left-hand drop-down menu up here, but since in Studio Fitness, the classes, the schedule is the heart and soul of their business, we're going to start in live schedule. So when I click into the live schedule, there's 3 really awesome view modes that I want to show you, and that's what we're going to go over today. The first of which is this daily list view. This shows you a ton of information. So I see all classes coming up in chronological order for the day in question. I see a ton of info, the time, the color coding, the name of the class, who's teaching it, how many people have signed up, all this fun stuff. And if I click into any one of these, it'll actually take me into the check-in screen for that class as well. Now, moving on, we're going to bump up to a slightly more macro view, is the weekly calendar. Now, the weekly calendar is great for taking control of your week at a glance. What we see here is, again, everything that's going on for a given week. And now I also get a nice visual representation, how much time is each event actually eating up on my calendar. And even if there's multiple events going on in the same studio, maybe things in 2 different rooms, I see how they overlap with one another, and I get to see everything. And finally, for the studio owners running a business, you need to look at everything from a bird's eye view. I'm going to come over here to this next view, and this is the monthly calendar. The monthly calendar shows us a ton of stuff. Now, for each given day, I'm going to see all of the events or classes happening in chronological order. Again, I'm going to get this color coding, and now I want to highlight some of these filters I have down here on the side. If I want to see any past classes or all past classes, I would click that to view. I could filter what I'm viewing by instructor. So if I want to see everything that Maddie Owen is teaching, I click that. Here's Maddie Owen's schedule. Now, maybe I don't care so much about who's teaching a class, but where class is being taught. So all instructors, but I want to see everything being taught in the Group X room. Now I can see that these are all my past classes taught in the Group X room, and I've got a guest teacher special event coming up over here. So that's the fitDEGREE live schedule feature at a very high level. Now next, to highlight my next feature, I want to jump on over to the mobile app. This is what the mobile app will look like for users. And now I don't mean users as in our clients, the studio owners, but rather their clients, their students, the end user who's signing up for classes and purchasing classes. Kicking it from top to bottom, I have an example or a preview of the live schedule. I see the next 3 upcoming classes, and I can, of course, see the full schedule. Now over here, I see some pictures, some circles with profiles in them. That's some sneak peeks as to some of our social features. Coming down here, I see the same thing as above, but with one-on-ones. I see a preview of some of the one-on-one services that a studio will offer. And again, I can click See All Services to see all of the one-on-one service they can offer. And finally, this is a personal favorite feature of mine, and a lot of our customers seem to really like it. This is the announcement board feature. This is a great way to cut right to your students, your members' attention through all the other noise that they get on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. When you post an announcement here, and that can be anything from, hey, kick it after class for some homemade juice and snacks, or turn your cell phones off, I'm tired of hearing them in class, even 6 feet of snow outside, we're closed. These announcements get posted to an announcement board. They stay there until something new is posted, and they come with a push notification that goes directly to everyone with the app's phone, everyone using your FitSpot. Now, I'm going to come back over here to the admin, and I'm going to highlight some of our statistics. Since we're running a business, specifically, I'm going to highlight the revenue stats. So I come down here to report, click on statistics, and I go to revenue stats. Now, what we see here are these stat cards. Each of these is a snapshot of a different piece of information that, instead of searching for certain reports, gets you right to what you want to know. On this left-hand side, and actually everywhere, we see data that's generated for 1 month going backwards from today. On that left-hand side here is where I see that date range, and I can also change it. So let's say I want to go to the start of the year. It's January 1st, 2019 until today, March 12th. I hit generate, and now we see a new set of data. Coming down here, I see revenue by items, and all my different revenue streams are going to be listed from highest grossing to least high. Each of these is clickable, as well as is every section over here that is corresponding to the data we see here. So I want to see more information about my memberships. I could click either section. And now I see of all my memberships, which of those memberships are bringing in the most money. The 6-month membership is bringing in the most money, so I click in to see where the money's coming from. So I can see most people are paying upfront. A couple people opted to pay recurring monthly, but nobody has been forced to pay a registration fee. One more click, I can actually see who the person was who bought that membership. If there's multiple people, I'd see them all, the date those memberships were purchased, and I can finally click through to get to their account. But we're not going to do that right now. Instead, I'm going to back out and show you a fitDEGREE exclusive feature. Now, before I showed you a different fitDEGREE exclusive feature, that was the announcement board. This is another one called the highest revenue producing demographic. Now, what that means is of all the different people that spent money in your studio, which demographic group of people brought in the most revenue. So I could see here that 22% of my revenue, that's the highest revenue producing demographic, came from white 25 to 34-year-old, non-binary, or individuals who have opted not to give their gender. The second highest revenue producing demographic is going to be African American 25 to 34-year-old males. Now, this is information that students willfully give and choose to give you when they create their profile. They can, of course, also opt out of giving this information. What's really cool about this feature is it automatically generates. You don't have to do anything. And let's say I just want to click into my memberships again. I get a new set of highest revenue producing demographics specifically for the data I'm looking at. So although it was non-binary, white 25 to 34-year-old individuals that made the most of my revenue in general, when it came to memberships, 50% of my revenue, the highest demographic, is white 25 to 34-year-old females. So we make it all very simple, very user-friendly. Everything's colorful, clickable, and the information is really, really easy to digest. I hope you enjoyed this, and before you begin going out and selling on your own, take a couple minutes to walk through this, watch this video, pick out things you may have liked that I did, maybe things that you didn't like, and practice it on your own. You'll definitely come up with your own catchphrases, verbiage, and it's also important to remember buzzwords that the prospect may have used that you can then sort of parrot back and use as examples to show and demonstrate that this system, fitDEGREE, can really fix their pain points and suit their needs. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I look forward to speaking with all of you. Best of luck, and I know you'll be successful.